Here we go.
And it's a great thing. Stock market's up 1,000 points. That means they like the deal. See, that means they like the market.
They
goes
like
down.
the deal.
They don't like the deal.
Yeah.
But it's been up. Oil's dropped. Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before.
Didn't we just bomb the hell out of them last night? Right? Because, Israel, the WeJs decide to go in and start bombing Beirut right after there was peace called. Iran hucks some bombs. Right now, America has to huck some bombs. Israel hucks bombs back at Iran. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so now the market rallied. On what? This is continuous. We keep doing this. Why am I saying we? I didn't do this. Trump is completely screwing up his legacy. He had the American hero story written. And what did he do? Wanders into a bagel shop.
Major companies.
My dad's texting me.
Limiting token usage by employees. You have token.
Let's see what his analysis is.
You have talk of some of the major model providers cutting prices. I think these are early anecdotes that perhaps the peak thrust is behind us. If we're thinking about that second derivative and the positive change, we've seen a lot in the past.
All right, so let me turn it up just for a second. All right, so my dad, this is fantastic. He doesn't like Trump. Doesn't matter what Trump does. I'm not particularly happy with Trump right now, but I like Trump. Okay, I think he just kind of screwed this whole thing up with Iran. Well, and we know why, right? The bagel bonnets got under him, and we're like, yeah, come on. Let's go fight. Let's go fight a war against Iran. By the bell. You understand? No. So, but my dad hates him. So anyway, good news today. It's from my father. President Stupid is going to have talks with Iran. Again, I don't believe that. Maybe they will discuss Space X. I don't know where he's going with this. We know they won't be discussing the war. Market jumped 1,000 points. The Dow Jones did. Yeah, NASDAQ's up 640. Okay. Looking, all right. Everything going up today. Well, that's not true. We need more on antimony. Take profits tomorrow. It's a secret. No, it's not. Dad, by the by, Glenwood Springs has a major fire. Yeah, I'm going to be driving through there. So that's a problem. All right. This is my file. I'm going to read the whole thing without comment. Good news today. President Stupid is going to have talks with Iran. Maybe they will discuss SpaceX. We know they won't be discussing the war. Market jumped 1,000 points. Everything going up today. Take profits tomorrow. It's a secret. No, it's not. Dad. By the by, probably means by the way, Glenwood Springs has a major fire. All right. Anyway, that's my dad's assessment of the market today. Everything's going up. But yeah, we're up 929 points on the Dow. 640 on the NASDAQ. I don't know what did it, but if it's this news that they're talking Iran again, really? Okay. For me personally, I don't buy into it. I just kind of leave it alone. Oh, wait. Here we go.
And it's a great thing. Stock market's up 1,000 points. That means they like the deal. See, that means they like the market.
They like the deal.
They don't like the deal.
Yeah.
But it's been up. Oil's dropped. Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before.
Carl, the president is still speaking to reporters right now in the Oval Office, so we may well learn more about this in the next few moments. But for now, what we know is that the president says the documents are in pretty final shape. That's a direct quote. And that the Strait of Hormuz will open as soon as we have it signed, which he says could be very soon, maybe over the weekend in Europe. Now, to be very clear here, this means that nothing is finalized yet. And it's not yet clear that the Israelis in particular have signed on to this agreement. Channel 12 News in Israel citing a senior Israeli official saying that they do not recognize reaching an agreement. And even if everyone does sign on to it, I'll also emphasize, Carl, that we do not yet know anything that's in this agreement. So yes, markets have been reacting very strongly today, and we do look closer to a deal than we once were, but still a lot of caveats before we get there. Carl?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about whether the Israelis were going to be a source of friction on all of this. And to remind viewers, this is ostensibly, Megan, a deal to start talks about bigger issues, yes?
Absolutely. So once we get through all of those hurdles that I just mentioned, even if Israel signs on, even once we learn more about what's in this, this has always been negotiated as a memorandum of understanding that would launch what we think will be 60 days to then start talking about the stickiest issues. So yes, the president's saying now the Strait of Hormuz will open, and that's what matters potentially most for the global economy. But things like the nuclear issue, things like the nuclear weapon, all of the talk about highly enriched uranium and all of that is getting pushed further down the road. And it still remains deeply unclear whether there's anywhere that the U.S. and Iran can agree on all of that. So it's a big step forward, it seems like, but so many steps first, needing to get everybody in agreement here, finalize the documents, sign on to it, and then launch those even harder negotiations.
Megan, thanks. Going to be a big few days ahead. Megan Cassell in Washington. Of course, stocks went into rally mode on that news. Our Seema Modi is going to recap some of the action.
Seema Modi!
There might be some discussion about
Seema
how
Modi!
Yesterday's high, but not Tuesday's high.
Yeah, that's a great point. Stocks staging a late-day rally, Carl, on President Trump's comments, seen by the market as a hopeful sign that geopolitical tensions are easing for now. The best daily performance for the S&P 500 since April 8th. And it was technology that really clawed back in a significant way, given the recent volatility that we've been seeing. The sector rotation out of tech, semiconductors leading the way, KLA, Tencor, SanDisk, Lam Research, all seeing double-digit percentage gains. Diversified sectors that have that proof point overseas, industrials, materials, the ties to energy rebounded with names like 3M, Caterpillar, and GE Vernova. With oil prices sliding, even some of the consumer travel-related stocks, Carnival, Royal
I was just
Caribbean,
talking about,
Norwegian, the cruise lines as a whole, you saw a nice rebound there. But it was Oracle that you could argue, Carl, was the stock of the day. While earnings beat and its demand stories improving with several large AI contracts, its spending and plans to issue stock certainly did raise some concerns on the street. Shares seeing its biggest drop in 6 months, but still up on the year.
Microsoft is the same thing. ServiceNow is the same thing. The software is not
later on
responding.
this hour. Seema, thanks. Oil did fall below $90 a barrel today. Let's get to Pippa Stevens to look at those moves. Pippa, we talked
Seema
earlier
Modi,
today about how
Pippa
oil
Stevens.
wasn't really
What are
buying
these
the
things?
concern, but this is a 3-month closing low.
What are they,
on
like
crude.
chick action
That's right,
figures?
Carl.
What are we
did see
doing?
WTI fall to a session low of
Pippa.
85.81. As
Seema.
the president said, oil will be, quote, even lower than it was before. Now, overnight WTI hit a high of 93.64, meaning it saw a swing of more than 8%. And these swings are becoming somewhat commonplace as the market reacts to the latest from President Trump, frequently in a knee-jerk move. Bespoke Invest finding that over the last 100 days, the average daily move between the intraday high and low has been 6.93%. That is the third highest reading on record, behind just 2009 and 2020. Now, this volatility has been a challenge for market participants and sent many to the sidelines, given these moves are based on headlines rather than fundamentals. Now, if and when the deal is signed, we will no doubt see an even larger drop in oil prices. But many have warned it will take months before activity can normalize. We heard from the Kuwait Petroleum CEO earlier this week at the Atlantic Council saying they can get 80% of their shut-in production back online in less than a month, but that the last 20% will probably take 3 to 4 months. And not just for Kuwait, but for most countries in the region. The CEO adding that's equivalent to about 4% of worldwide demand, which is significant, and Carl, is going to take some time.
Pippa, it does seem like the next chapter is going to be hearing from the shippers themselves and whether or not they feel comfortable with whatever assurances they have about the strait right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, this whole thing, again, it's just everything. This is like we got the biggest IPO tomorrow, SpaceX. Trump comes out today. And here we didn't we just bomb the hell out of them last night? Right? Because, Israel, the WeJs decide to go in and start bombing Beirut right after there was peace called. Iran hucks some bombs. Right now, America has to huck some bombs. Israel hucks bombs back at Iran. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so now the market rallied. On what? This is continuous. We keep doing this. Why am I saying we? I didn't do this. Trump is completely screwing up his legacy. He had the American hero story written. And what did he do? wanders into a bagel shop and screws the whole thing up. Bingo! All right, whatever. All right, what do we got here? What's having a problem? All right, we're good. Oh, Santelli, this is good.
And dollar. Let's look at PPI this morning. PPI core, unlike CPI, did not look pretty. 5.1%, basically the highest level you see on that chart since Q3 of 22. And it didn't end there. Jobless claims at a 4-month high at 229,000. And if you look at the timing on when we made the high yields on the treasuries, it was at 8:30. Then all of a sudden, the news in the market hit with President's communique, and I know that many aren't taking it much differently than some of his past communications, but the market is. Today's moves are significantly different than some of the past moves, and as you look at 2s and 10s, the drops were substantial. And yes, crude oil in the July contract down 4%. You called it, Carl, multi-month low. And the dollar index also selling off, which is good news for some of our neighbors. Maybe it'll take some pressure off the dollar yen. And by the way, the ECB tightened 25 basis points. Maybe that's the best tell. Maybe they're going to be one and done. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thanks. Talk soon. Rick Santelli. Let's dive deeper into the market. If Iran talks do progress, the AI trade returns, oil continues to drop. Are we then setting up for a big summer rally? Joining us.
Okay, so gold should be moving, right? Shouldn't gold be moving? Let's see. I mean, we can do the GLD. Let me see. All right, gold. GLD up 3%. Let's see. Gold miners, GDX. Up 5.25%. All right. That's interesting. Let's see if. All right. Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right. Pretty fantastic. All right, I'm gonna pull this down. All right, so yeah, the 10s came under 4.5. If the dollar goes down, all right, we're gonna hold on that, and let's do. Excuse me. Let's go back to the split, and what I want to see is let's take a look at gold futures. All right, gold futures. What? Come on, man. Where's gold at? All right, and gold futures. All right, they're kind of sitting. We can do the gold by the ounce. 2.4%. Yeah, I mean, okay. You're getting a rally. I mean, we're up at 42. All right. That's interesting. All right, so what about copper? We got to move in copper? I need copper to move. I'm in copper. You know what's interesting? Coal. Real quick. Not much of a move in coal. Coal, I don't know. It's weird. All right. All right, copper. Let's go copper futures. %. All right, 640. All right, interesting. But again, like for me, it's just like, what are we doing? You know, this Iran thing, it's never going to end. Okay, it's not going to end because Israel's just going to keep provoking more war. They just want war. They want land. They want it. It's just nonstop. Trump has literally got to tell the Jews to go fuck themselves. That's it. It's that short of a message. That turns the entire world around. Okay? That's it. We're done. Unless you're going to do a ground invasion into Iran, you're not going to do anything else to them. You're not going to force them into any other deal. It's not going to happen. They've got the Strait of Hormuz. They got you by the Kuyans. What are you going to do? Okay, and there's no ground war. We're not doing that. I don't even think Trump wanted to do the war. Okay? He made a deal somewhere in his campaign. He made a deal with the WeJays that he's going to do something against Iran. Because last summer, remember, it was that one-day strike. I think it was a one-day strike, maybe a 2 days. I think it was just a one-day strike. They flew out of Missouri, bombed, and he's like, yeah, we got it all. They have no more nuclear program, okay? He's telling us that. Well, obviously they still do, otherwise we wouldn't have went back. But he's not telling us, I don't think. I think he was signaling Israel. We got it. It's over. I paid my debt to you. I did what I told you I would do, and now I'm done. Well, here's what happens. After that, the WeJays come back, and they keep pressuring. Not enough. Trump made a deal with the WeJays. Somewhere, I don't know where, he made a deal. Shouldn't have made that deal. Okay? You're an Irishman or a Scotsman. You're a Scotsman, yeah? Okay. You go in the pub. You don't go in the bagel shop. You stay in the pub. You drink the whiskey with the men. You don't go to the ladies' lounge and have a bagel with cream cheese. You don't do that. Okay? So I think he did last summer. He's like, okay, I'm just going to do this. This'll, I settled the score with them. I did what they asked me to do. They came back, pressure, all the way through the end of the year, and then boom. End of February, he's got to go back and do more. So now he goes back, he does more alongside Israel, but he's done as much as he's going to do. He wants out. He's not going in on the ground. He's not taking the uranium. None of it's happening. He wants out because he's trying to fulfill whatever deal he made with the WeJays. I don't know what that deal is. That's just my opinion of what happened. He's trying to get out of this so he can get these guys to go back to schmearing bagels and he can get back to the United States of America. I hope that's what he's doing. Unless you just completely went against all your voters who voted for no new wars, especially no new wars in the Middle East. Okay? Israel needs to be on their own. If they want to go and they want to invade a bunch of let them do it. And let them get their little Jewy asses smacked and get them smacked right back to Jerusalem. And then they sit there and they don't bother people. But when you got the full force of the American military, you're going to do whatever. They don't want the war to stop because American military is in place. They want to keep it going. That's just what happened over the last couple of, 24, 48 hours? Okay, we're done. No, we're not. Okay? The WeJ minstrels come out dancing. They're like, no, we're going to blow more stuff up. Okay? I don't care about Iran. I don't care about Israel. I love Europe, but I don't care about Europe. And they're screwed. Right now, we got a lot of problems in the United States, and we need to solve the problems. This war is completely inflationary. On two fronts. One, you're spending money just having the military there. Two, the oil. You're like, oh, oil prices are going to come down. Yeah, maybe in the market they will. When are they going to come down at the pump? I don't know. Oil prices come down doesn't mean that immediately the prices at the pump come down. So what are we looking at? All right. So this whole thing is bullshit. Get back here, solve the problems in the United States. Borders locked, H-1B1 visas, get them all out of here. Refugees, don't care, goodbye. All right? Get inflation under control. There is affordable housing. There is no affordable housing. It's not a crisis. It's just not available. And you don't want to buy a house right now anyway. Don't get yourself locked into something like that. You can't do it. It's not affordable. Job market. Oh, well, yeah, the job market, 175,000 jobs in May and 200. Now they upped them, right? Those numbers are bullshit. I don't believe anything the government says. I'm done with them. All right, get over here and get these problems solved. We need jobs that actually pay people enough money so they can go and pay their bills. A lot of people are struggling. The middle class is getting squeezed down. They're getting squeezed down. The people that want to be productive in society don't have any opportunity. Your numbers are bullshit. Pay went up year over year, 3.4%. Wages went up. What's inflation at? 3.8? Right? But let's get more specific. Food's up at least 20%, 25%. Gas is up 40 or 50%. Insurance, health, auto, home insurance, they're all up dramatically more than 3.4%. All right? This is bullshit. And you're not going to solve the problem by having a war in Iran. All right? You want to solve the problem here, you got to get these H-1B1s out. You got to get people out of the United States that don't love the United States. If you're here just to take advantage and steal money, fraud, get out. Okay? And if you're an actual American and you hate the country, get the fuck out. Go somewhere else. Give the opportunity to another American that wants to succeed, wants to have a family, create a better future for their family. All right? America is not in a position to be screwing around the world right now. Anyway, whatever. All right, this was just a test. Nobody's watching, I hope, for the love of God. I think we're good. Where's the numbers? Okay. Anyway, this is just a test. Market, whatever. I'm going to keep looking. I got my watch list. I'm trying to buy minerals, critical minerals, rare earth minerals. I'm looking at them. Precious metals, like copper is what I'm focused on. And then I want to get, I've got silver and a little gold. I want to get a little more in that and see if that's going to play up. Crypto's a mess. I got some. It's just a lottery ticket. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, whatever. But needless to say, yeah, so this is what I'm looking at. Just going live, see what's going on. And the majority of this wasn't even with sound, so we'll see what's up. Anyway, all right, so what do we got to do? We got to go to the closing slide. Hang on, everybody. Hang on. All right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. It helps the channel. It helps the algorithm. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tony Renata.